Guys, I'm all set up. As I was walking in here, I noticed some fresh scrapes. I might get down in this river bottom. There's two bedding areas I know of. I'm kind of in this oxbow across the creek here, looking at the cattail marsh. Now, I scouted this in the spring, found a really good bunk bed. I'm on the north end of it, and the wind is coming from the southeast, right at my face. There's definitely some sign. I mean, I had to walk parallel to the creek here. I think all the conditions line up. We got cooler weather. It's supposed to get down to low 40s, upper 30s. We might get our first frost here. Yeah, I'm excited to be in a tree again. It's October 9th. We'll see what happens.
I found it interesting on how these deer use the terrain. You can learn a lot just by watching a deer's behavior.
That was pretty cool. That doe come running down the middle of the creek, right towards me. And then a small buck followed right behind her. They're still behind me. Hopefully the big boy shows up.
Another doe comes in, takes almost the same path as that first doe. Watch how she reacts when she gets to the trail of where the other deer had walked. I found this interesting too.
started to follow the same path as the rest of the deer. She got about halfway through that ditch. She kept looking over to the Cattail Marsh. And then she turned back around and went back. I don't know, maybe there's a big buck laying in there somewhere. She felt intimidated, so she turned away. So far, a pretty good sit. It was tempting to shoot that first big doe. She was good size. She came right behind me, 23 yards. A few minutes of daylight, hopefully big boy shows up. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm in the same spot I was in last night. I kind of got in here a little bit later than I wanted to, but that's okay. I know this area pretty well. They seem to do a bed shift around 9-10 o'clock. Temperature's about 46 degrees. Not quite frosty, but chilly. There's hardly any wind again. I don't think I spooked any deer on the way in. I didn't hear nothing bound off. So let's keep our fingers crossed. I'm all set, ready to go. 10 to 8 right now. So I'm going to sit back and enjoy the view. Here we go. October 10th. I think it's going to be a good year. All right.
As this small buck approaches, I noticed his behavior. He kept looking back, so I'm anticipating there could be another buck behind him, possibly bigger. Well, my instincts were correct. There is another buck coming. Watch how these bucks interact. I thought that was very interesting too. Like I said before, you can always learn something from watching deer. After watching these bucks spar for a while, I decided to give them a pass. After those two bucks separate, another buck appears. I found this very interesting too. And again, the larger buck showing his dominance, protecting his bedding area. At this point, I believe these deer had caught a little bit of my scent. Luckily, they didn't spook. They just went their separate ways.
That was really cool. I had 3 bucks come in and one small 4-point square off with a larger, taller 4-point. They sparred for a few minutes and then they separated. And the larger one looked like he went down into a bed. And then another little buck come up. The big buck come out, or the bigger buck came out. Kind of squared up to him, and he kind of got a little squirrely, like he smelled something, and he crossed the creek. Went back to the south. And then that larger 4-point went back to that bed. That's got to be the biggest 4-point I've ever seen. Not something I want to shoot, especially back here, about a mile back. But give it some time, and maybe a big one will show up.
Right.